been my nightmare at certain times of my career. It definitely won't go on for another 450 episodes. I hope it doesn't. We hold a lot of judgment and a lot of biases, and we're asking our audience to examine why.
And then it's lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much.
It's so novel, I think, for everyone seeing you outside of, obviously, the Grey's Anatomy thing. And what a project. I think people are going to start watching it and think they're seeing one thing and not realise, like, quite what it is. So how does it try to tell the viewpoints of everyone involved in quite a wild story that I had absolutely no idea about?
Right, it's interesting because it was huge in the United States. The docuseries was huge in the United States. And so a lot of people had been watching it. It had sort of permeated pop culture, and everybody was fascinated by sort of the idea of everybody watched the same thing, but everyone had different opinions as to what had happened. And so we thought that that was what was compelling about this story, actually. I mean, obviously the events are sort of heartbreaking and sad surrounding, you know, what happened in the true story. But really what was fascinating for us as the producers were that all of these people could watch the same exact thing or read different articles. Mm-hmm. And depending on who was telling the story, everybody had a different opinion. Well, they must be wrong, or she must be wrong, or she's the bad guy, or they must be the bad guys. No one had seen the same content and come away thinking the same thing. And as a sort of content creator, that's gold.
Really,
you know?
Yeah, you really do think you're seeing something, and then you guys completely flip it.
And to play with perspective, and that's really what we're examining in this series is why we hold the beliefs that we hold. Why do we watch something and examining our own biases? Yeah. Why do we watch something and believe we know, or we believe what we believe why? Because we hold a lot of judgment and a lot of biases, and we're asking our audience to examine why. Yeah.
And like I said, like, most of us have grown up seeing you on our screens for most of our lives, which is lovely. Yeah. And so to see you stepping outside of this is obviously amazing. But we also hope that you'll continue with the Greys. Like, what are you thinking? Because it's nice to be able to step away, like you have done.
Yes.
Keep your hand in one pie and do other things. But are you hoping that you will always be able to have a role in some capacity within Grey's Anatomy?
I mean, well, there's so many episodes that have already been recorded, so I'm forever a part of that. It doesn't. We can't possibly have more in front of us than we have behind us, right? True. So I'm in more of it than not. It definitely won't go on for another 450 episodes. I hope it doesn't. I have appeared in 7 episodes this season, and I do the voiceover. And I will appear in 7 episodes next season and do the voiceover. Yes. And beyond that, I don't know. And who knows how long it will go on.
It's one of the most iconic shows on TV, and like I think any actor probably could only dream of having something like that in their back catalogue.
Well, it's a nightmare for a lot of. It's a lot of actors' worst nightmare, and it's been my nightmare at certain times of my career. At certain phases, but it's gone on so long now that I've come out the other side, and I can appreciate it again. But I've certainly had my moments where I couldn't believe that it was still going on, but the opportunity to step away and do something else has sort of, has made all the difference for me, just to be able to do something different and devote less time to that. I think it's a huge commitment. It's a huge time commitment, and it's a lot of doing the same thing for a long time every day for a lot of years. Yeah. So that wears on you a bit. So that just getting some breathing room has been
I get that.
Refreshing.
But you've inspired many, many,
yes,
whether it be in medical or acting. So
it's true.
That's always a lovely thing, I think. Yeah. Good luck with this, however, as well. Because it's gripping. It really is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.